Have you ever found yourself agreeing to something you didn't want to do? You might have been the victim of manipulation. The art of manipulation, a craft as old as human interaction itself. It's a subtle dance of influence and control, often so well choreographed that you might not even realize you're a participant. Today let's delve into this intriguing world, specifically focusing on how some women may use manipulation tactics with men. Now, this is not to say that all women, or indeed all men, engage in such behaviors. It's merely to shine a light on this aspect of human dynamics, providing you with the knowledge necessary to spot these tactics when they come into play. Understanding these strategies isn't about laying blame or fostering negativity. It's about empowering you to protect yourself, to maintain control of your decisions, and to ensure your interactions are based on mutual respect and genuine understanding. Manipulation is a powerful tool, and it's essential to recognize it when it happens. Scene script. Imagine this: you're about to enjoy a night out with friends, but your partner seems unhappy. She says, "Go ahead, have fun without me." This is a classic example of emotional blackmail, a crafty manipulation tactic that aims to control your actions or decisions by tugging at your heartstrings. It's a crafty game where your partner uses your feelings of guilt, your sense of responsibility, and your fear of causing them pain as weapons against you. Picture this: you're about to head out, and she's sitting there, looking forlorn. When you ask what's wrong, she tells you it's nothing, all the while her eyes welling up with unshed tears. She insists you leave, but her tone is loaded with disappointment. This is guilt-tripping at its finest. She's silently telling you that your happiness makes her unhappy. Next, she plays on your pity. She might say something like, "I guess I'm just not important enough for you." She's invoking your empathy, making you feel sorry for her, making you question your own actions. Finally, she creates an obligation. She might remind you of all the time she sacrificed for you, or how she always puts you first. She's telling you, without saying it outright, that you owe her. In this way, she's subtly controlling your actions, making you feel like you have to choose her over anything else. Emotional blackmail can be subtle, but is a potent manipulation tactic. Picture this: your partner has done something wrong, but instead of apologizing, she turns the tables and makes herself the victim. It's a scene that's all too familiar, isn't it? This is the tactic of playing the victim, a classic move in the art of manipulation. Imagine a situation where she forgets your anniversary. Instead of saying sorry, she says she was too stressed with work or dealing with some personal issues. She shifts the blame away from herself and onto circumstances or even you. The goal? To avoid taking responsibility for her actions and to elicit sympathy from you. You might find yourself comforting her, even apologizing for her mistake. It's a clever tactic, isn't it? It's essential to recognize this strategy for what it is: a manipulation technique. By shifting blame and avoiding responsibility, she's playing the victim to control the narrative. Playing the victim is a classic maneuver in emotional manipulation. Imagine being in a situation where your partner withholds affection when she doesn't get her way. Now picture this: you're in a relationship where every moment of affection feels like a reward, a prize for good behavior. It begins subtly: a kiss withheld here, a cuddle denied there. You might not even notice it at first until the pattern emerges. This is a classic tactic of manipulation known as using affection as a weapon. It's a controlling behavior where the manipulator uses emotional unavailability to gain the upper hand. The affection you crave becomes conditional, given or taken based on their whims and wishes. It's like a game of chess, with your emotions as the playing pieces. This form of manipulation can be devastating as it ties your self-worth to their approval. It's a damaging dynamic, one where the manipulator holds the power, leaving the other person constantly seeking their validation. Withholding affection can be a subtle yet powerful manipulation tactic. Ever found yourself questioning your own sanity in a relationship? You may have been gaslighted. Let's dive into a tale of Alice and Bob. Alice, time and again, subtly convinces Bob that he's misremembering facts or events. She's cunning and persuasive, making Bob question his own memory, ultimately creating a sense of self-doubt. This is the essence of gaslighting: creating doubt. It's not just about making Bob question his memory, though. Alice slowly and systematically alters the reality around him. She contradicts facts, twists truths, and even denies events that Bob knows happened. Bob finds himself in a reality constructed by Alice, a reality he can't trust. The most insidious part is how this method undermines Bob's confidence. Alice's constant questioning of his memory makes Bob feel inadequate, incompetent, and even crazy. He starts to rely on Alice for his version of reality, eroding his self-esteem. Gaslighting is a dangerous form of manipulation that can leave lasting psychological scars. Ever experienced a situation where your partner refuses to communicate with you until you meet her demands? Picture this. You're home from a long day at work, ready to unwind and share your day with your partner. Only as you begin to speak, you're met with an eerie silence. No matter what you say or how hard you try, the silence persists. She's present physically, but emotionally and verbally, she's absent. This, my friends, is what we call the silent treatment. The silent treatment is not just about quietude. It's a potent tool wielded with the intent of shutting down communication. A manipulative tactic designed to isolate the recipient, leaving them feeling powerless, anxious, and desperate to restore the connection. The key here is control. By choosing not to respond, the manipulator gains control over the situation. It's a psychological game of chess, where the silent player holds all the pieces. You're left guessing, second-guessing, and overthinking every move while they sit back and watch. But remember, silence is not golden in a relationship. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. So if you find yourself on the receiving end of the silent treatment, it's important to address it, not succumb to it. The silent treatment is a manipulation tactic that uses silence as a weapon, but weapons can only harm you if you allow them to. And remember, you have the power to disarm them. Flattery can be a genuine compliment, but it can also be a tool for manipulation. Imagine this scenario. John, an average guy with an average life, starts dating Lisa, a charismatic woman with a silver tongue. Lisa is always quick to compliment John, praising his looks, his intelligence, his sense of humor. She tells him he's unique, that he's unlike any other man she's met. But here's the twist. Lisa doesn't mean any of it. This is what we call flattery and false praise. It's a form of manipulation that plays on the ego. You see, Lisa is not praising John because she genuinely thinks he's great. She's doing it because she knows it makes him feel good. It boosts his ego. And when John's ego is inflated, he feels good about himself. And by extension, he feels good about Lisa. The key point here is that Lisa's compliments are insincere. They're not based on truth, but on what she thinks John wants to hear. And the more she praises him, the more he becomes dependent on her for that feel-good factor. He starts to crave her praise, her approval. This dependence then gives Lisa power over John. She can use her words to manipulate him, to get him to do what she wants. So remember, not all compliments are genuine. Some are just tools used to boost ego and create dependence. Flattery and false praise can be a subtle way to manipulate someone into doing what you want. Manipulation can be hard to spot, especially when it's coming from someone you trust. We've journeyed through the labyrinth of manipulation, unmasking 7 tactics that are often employed. Firstly, we unveiled the art of emotional blackmail, a tactic that manipulates through fear, obligation, and guilt. Then we shed light on playing the victim, a strategy that seeks to gain sympathy and control. We also delved into the use of affection as a weapon, a technique where love and intimacy are used as bargaining chips. Furthermore, we uncovered the unsettling world of gaslighting, where reality is distorted to create self-doubt. The silent treatment also made it to our list, an act of complete withdrawal to exert control and induce feelings of guilt. Lastly, we discussed flattery and false praise, where compliments are used insincerely to achieve a hidden agenda. These tactics, while seemingly different, all serve the same purpose: to control and manipulate. As we've learned, manipulation is not always obvious. It can be subtle, insidious, and often comes from those we least expect. But now, armed with this knowledge, you're better equipped to spot these tactics and protect yourself. It's crucial to remember that everyone deserves respect and equality in relationships. No one should feel controlled or manipulated. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay alert, and don't let anyone manipulate you.